Well, hello too. Today we are here to talk about Ralph Ellison's The Invisible Man. First, a shameless promotion. I have a Discord channel. There's a link to it down below. I hope it works. I don't know. I really don't know about Discord. It's new to me. But I have a section in there where if you're a content creator for BookTube or YouTube community, where you can shamelessly uh, link your newest and greatest videos in there, try to help spread the word. If you're not a content creator, you can go by there and see if anyone's uploaded any videos, and who knows, maybe you'll find some new people. Um, so there's that. Shameless plug over. Ralph Ellison's uh, Ralph Ellison was born March 1st, 1913, Oklahoma City. Died April 16th, 1994, New York City. Invisible Man, published by Random House in 1952. And this blurb, courtesy of Wikipedia, I wanted to read it by Orville Prescott. Not my words. The most impressive work of fiction by an American Negro, which I have ever read. The appearance of a richly talented writer. So just kind of imagine, like, if you were, we'll take Michael B. Jordan, because he's like the hot stuff right now, right? Um, the most impressive movie by an American Negro, which I have ever seen. The appearance of a richly talented actor. You'd be like, the hell is this guy's problem? The appearance, I like the appearance of a richly talented writer. So it's like, is he talented or is he just a sham? I guess the world will never know. Orville, the world will never know. So I read this book like 2 months ago, and I kept putting this video off because I didn't know what to say, and then I kind of had a my channel had a bit of a hiccup for the last couple months. Long story. Won't go over that here. So I'm finally getting around to it today. I don't didn't really know how to talk about this because I think it's incredibly important. I think it's something that everyone should read, especially if you're an adult or a mature teenager that's paid any attention to anything at all over the last couple of years. This book is scary. It's terrifying, and it just, you read it and it's just so familiar. You have the Brotherhood, think like BLM, who is peaceful, wants to get, basically wants to do good for the world in a peaceful way. And then you have Ross's group, which think like Antifa, which is burn this MFer down to the ground. And pretty much where one goes, the other one goes. You kind of saw that in Minneapolis. You saw that in Kenosha. You see that in Chicago. You saw that, and then come to find out a couple years later that BLM is basically just a whole bunch of bad stuff has come out about basically their use of the finances and things like that, and it's just, we won't go into all that, but basically our Invisible Man got um, recruited by the Brotherhood, think like BLM movement, because he kind of stood up for a family that was getting evicted, and he was doing it in a peaceful manner because the crowd was ready to riot, and caught these guys' attention. He becomes like the spokesman for this, and then the entire time, like, they're not only battling like the injustices, but they're battling this anarchist group that's trying to destroy everything. And then, kind of at the end, uh, our main man, the Invisible Man, which you never really learn his name, decides that the only way to basically beat the system is just not participate in the system. Which, I mean, honestly, he's not wrong. The system is just set up in a way to, unless you're the puppeteer controlling the puppets, you're just along for the ride, and you just kind of have to deal with it. But yeah, this man, And of course, that is very the simplistic version of it. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in this book. This book is just packed full, absolutely packed full of craziness. And I didn't know what to expect going into this. I never read it. I never read any Ralph Ellison. But I'll tell you what, this book from like page one was it. Man, it completely gripped me. Like I was sold, and I enjoyed it all up to the end. Um, just absolutely loved this book. It's very. I don't think it's. I mean, obviously it came out in the 50s. There's a lot of bad stuff that was happening in the 50s. Um, but it's just so crazy that 70 years later, that how true it rang. It just, man, it's like almost like 2020, 2019, whatever. Well, somebody just got done reading The Invisible Man and was like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to basically create chaos, and it's like, and then the last year it all just kind of disappears. It just it's really hard to talk about this book without getting political. It's so hard because it's just it doesn't matter which side of the aisle the kids are getting noisy. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on, or if you're the person in the middle looking at the two sides of the aisles go crazy. Um, it's just it's such a touchy subject, right? And what's so sad in this country and around the world, you got the super far left and you got the super far right, and they are screaming so incredibly loud, bickering back and forth, fighting one another. And like the 90% of the people that are just sitting in the middle are like, you know what, you guys are the loud ones, and you guys are the ones like are creating all this chaos, and then we have to come along and clean it up. But it's crazy. It's absolutely craziness. And it doesn't matter. It's never going to end. Biden comes along and we have 7.9% inflation, which is more like 300% inflation, because I don't know what I've bought in the last any time that it's only gone up 8%. My power bills tripled, gas prices have tripled, but you can't blame the president for that. Well, if you're a Democrat or you voted for Biden, you can't blame him for that. If you're on the right side, you are blaming him for that. You go back to Trump and coronavirus. He got blamed for coronavirus, and it's like from the left, but the right's like, it never ends. It's a continuous cycle. Before that, it was Obama, and with Obama, you had record unemployment and a depression, or I guess maybe it wasn't technically a depression, but the housing bubble crashed, but the the right blamed Obama, but the left blamed it on Bush Senior, and then or Bush Junior W, and then just like then everyone blamed everything on Dick Cheney during W's term. So everyone knew who was wearing the pants in that relationship. But it's a never ending cycle, and there's no way of stopping this never ending cycle unless you become an invisible man and live off the grid. That's it. That's all you can do. I mean, if you have a job, you're in this never ending cycle. If you own a house, or if you not necessarily own a house, if you live in this world, and basically if you don't live in a one room cabin out in the middle of the woods like Unabomber style, you're in the system. And there's no way out of the system unless you want to build a one room cabin out in the middle of the woods, I guess. But just sad. Just sad. This book is scary. Everyone should read it. I think if you go into it with an open mind, without whatever prejudices you have, whether you are, far left, you're far right, you're in the middle, if you can read this book without bringing your own agenda to it, maybe open up your eyes a little bit. And by that I don't mean like I assume that you viewer is can't read objectively. I'm just saying as a whole, just look at gosh darn Twitter. As a whole, it's chaos. It's just chaos. So it's sad, absolutely sad. And those of us who have kids, it's even sadder and more scary. So maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you have nephews and nieces, or maybe your friends have kids and whatever. You fear for them. So anyway, Invisible Man, awesome book, incredibly important book. Go read it if you haven't. It is a little bit on the long side. It's like 400, 500 pages. But I'll tell you what, there isn't a dull moment in the book. Parts of it will make you angry. Parts of it will make you sad. Parts of it will make you sick to your stomach. But I think it's such, 70 years after it's been written, or it was written, it's still an incredibly hard-hitting book. So that's it for this one, peeps. Let me know down below, have you read it? Did you read it? Did you read it with the Book Zealots? This month they're doing Scarlet Letter. I am reading that one. So I didn't read the last one, which I think was A Wrinkle in Time. But I just happened to come across a nice used copy of the Scarlet Letter. So I think I'm on chapter 2. Not very far. It's not a very long book. So that's it for this one, peeps. Link down below to the Book Zealots channel. Hopefully I remember. If not, Book Zealots. Link down below to the Discord channel. Go. And it's brand spanking new, so please check back often, and hopefully people can. And if you are a content creator, by all means shout it out. Be like, hey, this dude Booknik that you never heard of has a Discord channel, has a place for you to shamelessly promote your channel. Go do it. I don't care if you do comic books, sci-fi books, Victorian literature, nonfiction. People like a little bit of everything. So if you make videos, go post your last video on it. Every time you make a video, go post your video on it. I put it there so you could shamelessly promote your wares, and so that hopefully other people who are not content creators can go by and check it out. People who are content creators, go by, check it out. See if there's a new face on there for you. Maybe because of the YouTube stupid algorithms, maybe somebody you do follow posted something you didn't even see it in your feed. YouTube. That's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.